everybody, Erica Serwin here from Pink Bucker Designs. This week on my blog, I've got some cute This Birthday Piggy projects. I love these little pigs. They are just the most fun. And today's card features our little pig kind of rooting around in the mud. And I love the sentiment. It's your birthday. Go to your happy place and stay there all day. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to first show you how I stamped our pig. I'm going to use Blushing Bride cardstock, and I'm going to put it on my Stamparatus. I want to make sure I get a nice crisp image, so I'm actually going to stamp it twice. And I am using Memento ink. We're going to fussy cut this guy out, so I'm not too worried about placement on this paper. Now, in a little while, we're going to stamp it again onto our crumb cake paper. But for right now, we're just going to stamp him in Memento on our Blushing Bride paper. Now I'm going to take my soft suede Stampin' Blend and I'm just going to splatter him with a little bit of mud. All right, so there we have him. Let's set that aside and grab our piece of crumb cake. I have a 1/4 sheet of crumb cake. And I'm going to get my blending brush and soft suede ink. And I'm going to start from the bottom and move my way up. I want it darker at the bottom than at the top. And then I'm going to flip it around and do the other side because we're actually going to get 3 pieces, hopefully 3 little hills out of this whole sheet. All right. So there's one side, and let's turn it to the other. Now, you don't have to worry about being too perfect here with your ink because we're making mud. And mud most certainly isn't perfect. And we want it to be kind of messy. All right, there. Now, I'm going to use this basic border die, and we're going to cut 3 pieces. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is the back piece, the larger piece. So I'm going to kind of go about maybe a little less than halfway. And you want to make sure your die is kind of centered as best you can get it. Okay. Run that through. All right, now we're going to do a couple more. I'm going to do one that's kind of going, let's see. I'm going to do one that's kind of going that way, kind of a corner. And then we'll do another one that's kind of going up like that. Well, that may be a little bit too high. We'll see. All right, so there's that piece. All right, let's bring back over our grid paper and, well, actually we just need our Stamparatus really. And I'm going to take my biggest hill right here and I'm going to put my pig right where I want it. I'm going to stamp it again. Oh, actually I forgot. Well, yeah, we'll do this first. Let's pick it up. We're going to mask off the parts that we don't want, and we don't want those flowers. So I'm going to take my Post-it tape, and I'm going to use that to kind of just mask off those flowers. Now this is going to give us a place to put our pig once we cut him out of the colored cardstock. And it's also going to give us all that little dirt texture down there too. All right, so ink it really well. Take off those pieces and stamp. All right, so see, we just have that piece. Now while it's here, I'm also going to take my Again, soft suede, the brush tip, and just kind of add some more splatter. All right, I think we're done with that. Now we're gonna fussy cut our little pig. All right, so grab your sharpest, smallest scissors that you have. And the first thing I like to do is cut off all that excess cardstock. And now I'm gonna go around and I'm gonna cut right on that black line. And it's gonna look kind of weird because the dirt goes up over him. So we're gonna kind of, his belly's gonna look a little bit like it's scalloped, because when we glue it down to this other piece down here, it'll make more sense that those little scallops right there will be dirt that it's coming up over him. And the reason why you want to get right on that black line is because we're paper piecing, and we don't want any of that pink anywhere where it's not supposed to be. Okay, so just cut right along that black line. Our paper snips are awesome. They are the sharpest, best pair of small scissors you can get for this. They're only about 10 bucks. I highly recommend them. I have them stashed everywhere in my house. They're so good for lots of things. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm going to take my liquid glue and put some glue, not too much because we don't want it to, you know, squirt out. And then I'm going to set him right, matching those lines right there. All right, so now see how it looks like he's sitting there in the dirt? And you can take your soft suede and just kind of add a little bit more to the dirt if you want. We're gonna add some rocks here in a minute too. And then I liked to take my dark petal pink also and add some color, a little variation to our pig. All right, so then we've got these other pieces, and we're gonna put this one down here like that. We're gonna have to trim some of it off, but that's okay. So put 2 dimensionals. Actually, we need to put them up a little bit higher. It's because we're gonna trim some of that bottom off like that. And we don't want it to cover up our pig, so put it right below. And then come over here and trim off anything that sticks out. Okay, and then we've got this other little hill that we made to cover up this edge. Like that. All right, so now I have cut out a couple of pieces of grass, and we're gonna put one back here like this. And so this is the back side of the, when you cut it comes out like this. But you can use the back side, no problem. It looks the same. There we go. And then we'll do this one facing the other way. Like that, right there. Well, let's see if I'll get that in there. There we go. Okay. Now I told you we're going to add some rocks. So let me grab those. These are our sea glass shapes, and I'm going to use my soft suede to color them brown. All right, and then you can take your pick tool and pick them up. You might need to wait for that adhesive to dry. Let's see, let's try that again. There's one. I'll put one there, one there. If you guys can hear that, that is my dogs having a wrestling match in the other room while I make a video, because, you know, of course, they love to have wrestling matches when mom makes videos. All right, let's put this together. I have a Blushing Bride card base and a piece of our Gingham Cottage Designer Series paper. The full supply list and the measurements are over on my blog, so make sure you click the link here on YouTube to go over there. Now for the vellum, I'm going to put the adhesive down on the bottom half where it'll be covered up. But as you can see, you really can't see it. Light colors and Stampin' Seal work great. All right, now we're going to take this carefully. Let's see, I'll put adhesive over here because we're still a little bit wet. And we're going to adhere that across the bottom of our card. Now I have also cut out the little fence and we're going to adhere that. So I should have put adhesive sheets on the back of these. That would make it a lot easier to adhere. But you have to put adhesive sheets on before you cut out. Okay, Tombow works great, but I kind of make a mess of Tombow. All right, so there's our two little fences. Now we're going to stamp our sentiment. Let's see, I have a piece of scrap. Looks like I didn't get a piece of basic white for this, but we've got a scrap here, so that will work. All right, on basic white, we're going to stamp this one. Go to your happy place and stay all day, because we're just going to cut it out as a rectangle. And then this one, it's your birthday. I've got a basic white stitched banner, and we're going to stamp that over on the right side, and then we're going to cut this off. All right. So now you want to grab a toothpick and some glue dots. And I'm going to just grab a glue dot with my toothpick, and I'm going to put that down there like that. And then grab some dimensionals. We're making like a little flag. Dimensionals right there. And then we're going to cut this out. There we go. We will cut that out just as a rectangle. Let's see if I can get it right where it needs to go. Nothing fancy here, just a rectangle. And we're going to put that right there. Also, with dimensionals, and I'm going to put the dimensionals over here on the right side to make it even with our hill right there, like that. And last but not least, we want to add a twine bow to the bottom of our flag. This would make a great birthday card for a kid, for a girlfriend, for a guy, whoever. I think it's fun and it'll make anybody smile. These pigs are just the cutest. All right, glue dot. Take your pick tool and put that right there. And there you have it. All right, you guys, make sure you jump back to my blog to grab that free PDF and 2 other This Birthday Piggy projects. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.